everybody. Welcome to another Mega Me of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's stealing people's abilities with me tonight?
That's Metal Daddy, Michael K. Hughes.
I hope your wife listens to this episode.
We learned as we put up the wikis for this episode that one of the bosses is called Metal Daddy, so yeah. For this game we have not said yet.
And Mike, why don't you introduce what we're talking about tonight?
We are talking about MegaMan 4, released in America in 1992, Japan 91, and Europe in 93. It was all over the place.
And this also came out and made by Capcom, of course. And
oh yeah,
you can play this currently if you want to in the Legacy Collection. That's really about it. It's the only thing it has, but that's all you need. It's on Steam. It's on most systems at this point with the Legacy Collection.
Yeah, people probably still have the Anniversary Collection too.
Oh yeah, it's on there
somewhere.
Too. I do. So this game actually surprised me because for those that remember, I don't remember because Mega Man 3, when we recorded that back in October. I published it in March. We recorded this in April. All I remember is that I didn't enjoy 3.
Yeah, it did not hold up to the nostalgia test.
So like when we came back into 4, because this is my first time ever playing 4, I'm like, I didn't play these old games. I'm like, I'm not gonna like this, and I was surprised. Like this is not. It's one guy had said this game's easier than 3, which is 100% right.
Oh yeah,
I like that.
I told you the other day, I think everything's got more health because this is the game that introduces the charge shot. But it's definitely, I don't know if it's like the patterns or what. There's definitely less bosses because you don't have to go through and fight all the Mega Man 2 bosses, which was a pain in the ass in 3.
It shouldn't be because 2 is the best game ever made. But for some reason, it wasn't fun fighting them in different forms. And first thing, before we get too far, I want to talk about how the covers, like, because 3 and on, they kind of do better covers. They're not as weird as 1 and 2, but 4 is still a weird cover where he's standing on like a mountain, but you can tell he's not even like, he's supposed to be sliding down the mountain, but he's not really there. You can tell. It feels like.
He's got the weird, like, chubby face.
Yeah, and you got Pharaoh Man on the cover. I really like Pharaoh Man. I don't know why, but I like Pharaoh Man.
Yeah, he's got a cool design.
I love Egypt, and I love ancient Egypt type things, and so seeing Pharaoh Man, I was like, oh, this is my first time ever getting to fight one of the characters. I actually like 2 of the multiple of them in this game a lot.
Yeah, this is where the designs really feel like, people say they start to lose ideas, but I think the actual designs start to really kick up a notch.
I mean, there's a couple where they didn't know it in this one that are dumb as dumb. There's 2 really dumb ones.
No, none of them are as bad as Top Man.
Touche. So what, did you go by the boss order that's recommended online then for this one?
I go by my nostalgia order because it's one of this series, I feel like I always play them the same way whenever I play them, so I start with Toad Man and go from there.
Toad Man is an idiot.
I figured that was one you're referencing.
I mean, he is a dumb fuck. Like, he's just stupid.
He does have kind of broken AI where if you just shoot him as he puts his hands up, he'll just keep recycling that animation over and over again.
Oh, I didn't even beat him that way. I beat him by I just kept shooting him. Like, if you shoot him, he'll jump over you. You shoot him again, he'll jump over you again. You just continue that.
Yep, that is the thing.
And I was like, does he have abilities? And I fought him twice, and that's all he did. Just jump over me. And I'm just like, I don't mind easy bosses, but this was ridiculous.
Yeah, him and Toxic Seahorse from Mega Man X3 is the other one that I always think of when I think of those bosses that just kind of, you can loop them real easy.
So I was like, does he actually have abilities that he does besides just jump over you?
All he does is he'll put his hands up and do like a little belly dance, and it kicks in the Rain Flesh ability that Mega Man gets from him, which you can't dodge. It fills the entire screen, so it's probably a good thing that he's kind of easy.
That's probably why, because, I mean, every game they're not going to want it to be in a situation where he can just murder you.
Yeah, that's what Dive Man's for. Guy's an asshole. So did you start with Toad Man too?
Yeah, I found a guide online, and they told me to fight Toad Man first.
Yeah. I think he might take extra damage from the Mega Buster. His stage is kind of a hard one to start with because you're constantly being pushed around by the rain at the beginning. So it makes some of those jumps kind of tricky, but you were playing with Rewind, so it wouldn't have been an issue for you.
No, it was not. But Rewind is the way to play this game.
No, I actually played this on the 3DS Legacy Collection, so I did not have access to Rewind, but I didn't have a whole lot of issues otherwise.
Yeah, but you're better at games than I am.
I did play this one a bit back in the day too, so.
I skipped NES mostly back in the day.
Yeah, and you try to skip it now too, but
I try. You make it hard though. I don't have the nostalgic for NES because I grew up on the Super Nintendo, even though I was around. I'm born in '87, but so a lot of those games don't hit me the same way they hit other people.
Right. Understandable. Everyone's got their thing.
So man, he's just a dummy. The rain was a little annoying how the game pushes you back, but also like getting to use a charge shot for the first time in the NES series because I grew up later on with Mega Man, so charge shot's normal to me, and it does a good job in this game as a first game to have it.
Yeah, it's definitely neutered compared to the charge shot we got from 5 and on because it's not nearly as big, so it's harder to hit enemies. Because I want to say it's like, we'll call it 1 tile wide, and from 5 on, it's at least 2. So it's way easier to hit things with a bigger shot.
Yeah, they're experimenting with something new, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But you are right, it's not as cool as like, I've never played 5 and 6, so I just know an X is nowhere near as cool as X can do.
True.
I played a little bit of 7 before. But when I mean a little bit, I mean like the intro level.
Yeah, well, you'll be playing all of them at some point.
I want to. So, after Toad Man, who do you fight next?
Go to Bright Man. He's probably got the weakest design, I would say, out of these 8, where he's just a generic robot with a light bulb on his head.
His level sucks, though.
Yeah, because you've got the lights on, lights off thing from Quickman Stage in 2, where you'll just be walking along, and if you shoot this enemy that has a light on it, the screen goes completely dark except for Mega Man and the other enemies.
And you need a firework guy to shoot fireworks to light it up, but if you shoot the guy like I would do every single time, you don't get your lights back. So I did not like this stage. I had to rewind a lot because there was one part where I kept shooting the light bulb even though I shouldn't have, and kept not knowing what to do, and it took a while before I finally just decided, okay, I'm just going to let him live. I just wanted to kill him every time.
It's hard to go against that Mega Man instinct of just shoot everything that moves.
Yeah, it really is. But I do want to talk about Toad Man's ability before we go on to too much on the Bright Man is you make it rain. You throw a little portal, you throw like a little thing out, sprinkler looking thing, and it starts raining, and that's his attack.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those hits the entire screen attacks that I think kind of becomes a standard from here on.
Oh, other game. Okay, I've never seen one, but that's because
5 definitely has one, and 6 has another one like Bright Man's, which we'll talk about in a minute. But
it's so stupid. I only used it on one boss, and that's Bright Man, and that's it.
I used it on the mini boss in Ringman stage. This is Weird Hippo, which we'll talk about later. But I just couldn't be asked to fight him the way you're supposed to. So
I like the hippo. I beat him my own way too, so I'll talk about it in a second. But like
many bosses, there is one in Toadman stage, the stupid snail thing.
Yeah, he'll shoot him in the eyeballs. That was annoying too.
Yeah, and then he'll shoot his eyeballs at you and shoot bombs. And one of the fights is on this little platform where you've got water dripping down, so it's pushing you all over the place. It's a pain.
And I want to say this is the first Mega Man game to have branching paths in a level. Like, there's a lot of hidden rooms in this game.
Yeah,
pretty sure. You get E-Tangs and you get 2 other upgrades that I didn't find till after I was in the end of the game. You're like, well, did you get
did you get the wire and the balloon? Yeah, I actually find myself using them more than I thought I would.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I can talk about those as the stages that they're in.
Okay. And the other thing we should say that there's a story to this game that nobody cares about, but it actually, the intro screen is them telling you some kind of story about how Wily has died since he was crushed in Mega Man 3, and now Dr. Kalsik, a Russian scientist, is the one that's making you fight.
Uh-huh.
His 8 robot masters that he made. Yeah, okay. And I think it's funny Russian, because again, the year, so the Cold War would have just ended not too long before this.
So we got the German scientist manipulating the Russian scientist who makes an Egyptian-themed robot.
That doesn't make any sense. So, I do want to talk about... So, Bright Man is the second dumbest robot master in this game, and probably up there some of the dumbest robot masters, and his weakness is the toad water, so you just shoot... You would just keep doing the clear all attack constantly.
Rain Flush.
That even sounds dumb.
It sounds better than toad water.
I'll give you that. Yes, it does. Bright Man he's a robot with a giant light bulb on his head, and his attack is to freeze you and then shoot at you. That sounds really familiar.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that before somewhere. And he won't be the last one that we fight that has this ability.
Oh, they bring it back in another game too?
Yeah, there's 1 in 6 that can do it.
Okay, that must be a thing every 2 games. Let's have attack where you freeze.
Yeah, and we'll give you a barrier weapon, and because 6 has that too, huh? Yeah, every 2 games.
That's funny. Okay. Because I when I first saw that, I did the ability, and I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah, it's just the flash stopper.
And then who is the third boss that you fight?
Right, man, go to Pharaoh Man.
I really like Pharaoh Man's level because I like Egyptian ancient Egypt, and you're in the desert and you're jumping in quicksand. It's not the easiest level, but it looks cool.
Oh, Bright Man's weapon is called the Flash Stopper. Flash Man's weapon is called the Time Stopper.
That sounds very like they're almost the same thing, huh?
Which is funny because there's the Time Man too, and MegaMan powered up, and he does not give you this ability, surprisingly.
That's because Time Man was invented way later.
Well, yeah, but by then they're like, okay, we've got to give him something different.
What is Time Man's ability even anyway?
It's where you shoot the arrows at 45-degree angles, the clock hands.
Okay, I have no recollection. I play powered up, obviously, but
go back and listen to that episode. It was early on.
It's a really good game too.
Yeah, it's good. But yeah, Pharaoh Man.
That has the balloon one that you were talking about, right?
That does have the balloon, and so you're going across all this sinking sand, and it prompts you to jump into this pit that leads you further into the pyramid. And I don't know how I learned that you jump over the pit and keep going right to get to the balloon, but it's very well hidden.
I didn't even know it was in there. I mean, I'm watching a playthrough right now, and I see the guy did, but I had no idea about it.
Yeah, because you see a giant pit. You have to use the rush coil to jump over it, which I'm sure I didn't think to do it when I was a kid. I probably saw Nintendo Power or something.
You can actually, I think, make the jump normally, too, in the video I was watching, but you got to do it, just right.
But you got rush, and you really don't need rush coil in this game, so...
You don't really need rush in this game, I don't think. You need rush jet once or twice.
You need jet in one of the wild levels, because that's another thing they like to keep bringing back.
Yeah. It was cool to see rush again. You get rush coil, rush jet, and rush marine, which is very useless.
Mm-hmm. I used it once.
Same. I don't know if I needed to, I just wanted to, because I'm like, well, why not?
There's a bunch of water here. Let's use rush marine.
I also, still, as every Mega Man game I played on this show, I play the same way. I don't use the power-ups except for boss fights. Do not touch them otherwise.
I've really been trying to branch out, and it made some of the mini-bosses way easier.
I can't. I can't get myself to do it. I don't know why, because I know better. Like, it refills after the end of every boss level. I just can't do it.
Yep.
So Pharaoh Man, you fight him. And the flash stopper is his weakness, so you can just stop time and just shoot him.
Which is funny, because his AI is kind of like Quickman, where he's got that pyramid in the middle of his stage, and he jumps around and shoots at you. So you got to wait until you're lined up just right, and then use the flash stopper on him.
Both times I fought him, I freezed him in the air and jumped up and shot him.
Oh, no way.
You're not supposed to, but I did it twice.
Yeah, I waited until he was in my sights and then hit him, and I just kept spamming the attack button.
He's so cool.
He is cool.
Pharaoh Man is one of my favorite Mega Man bosses that I've never fought before, just because I like his design.
Yeah, it's definitely cool.
He has the Egyptian type helmet. I don't know how else to describe it in the Egyptian style. It's just
Egyptian headdress, I guess.
Yeah. No, he's really cool.
I like his official art, which
and he's just cool. And the Pharaoh shot is also pretty damn useful. It's a big pink ball that you get.
Yeah, and it's kind of bugged too, which makes it way more useful.
What do you mean?
Like as you're charging it and you got the ball over your head, which is I think the only time they do anything like that in the series. You can hit someone with that ball, and as long as you're holding down the button, you can still release the button to shoot it normally too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so basically you get twice as much attack power from it.
That's cool. Okay. I know it's used to beat some of the final bosses.
Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty useful.
Yeah, especially since you can shoot it at 45-degree angles too.
I didn't do that. I just shot it in front of me, or I would hold it and jump up and hit things with it. So what is the next one that you fight?
Next is Ringman, I believe, which I know you have thoughts about this stage and boss.
This stage is it's very I want to say before this, and most of this game doesn't have as many drops as some Mega Man games do that we played. And Ringman is a lot of drop to your death. And lots mini bosses.
This is that stage in every Mega Man game that's more vertical than horizontal for sure, because you're going up into the sky. I don't get the theming. Ring sky to Saturn,
Rings
I guess.
of Saturn.
I guess.
I mean, I think because you fight little rotating planet, little Saturns with rings on them.
There is that.
So I'm assuming that's what they were going for in this.
I don't know. This stage is the one that I always think of when I think of Mega Man 4. Like, whether it be this game or the Game Boy version. It's like the platforms that kind of disintegrate as you step on them.
I mean, my biggest problem with Ringman stage is when you fight a Hippo mini boss, which I didn't have a problem with him. I know you didn't like him.
Oh, no, but he was really easy.
I just froze time and shot all what he's sitting on and then shot him in the face a bunch.
Yeah, that's the way you're supposed to fight him. Yeah, you shoot the pillar that he's on to bring him down to your level so you can shoot him, but every time he'd shoot out his little missiles, I'd just throw up a rain flash and it would destroy all the missiles and damage him, and I just kind of repeated that until it died.
Like, there's no other use for rain flash, so I might as well use it. Oh, you're going to use it for anything else.
But Ringman's actually got too many bosses because he's got that weird spring thing.
That was really annoying for me.
Yeah, especially the second one because you're on a much tighter corridors. Basically, you have to wait until he sends out his springs and exposes the little pair of eyeballs to damage him.
Oh, and also this is the first game to introduce another one of the helpers that Dr. Light sends you. He looks like a Met.
Yeah, Eddie.
Eddie? What kind of creative name is Eddie?
Also known as Flip Top.
I forgot. Like I knew who he was because I have researched a lot about Mega Man. I like Mega Man a lot.
Oh yeah,
but I had forgotten like he was even in this game, and I thought it was cool when he first shows up and he just gives you items. And I started shooting him when I first saw him, and I went, "Oh yeah, he's not bad."
They
didn't do anything.
Introduce Rush in 3, Eddie in this one, and then 5 gets a new character too.
The bird, right?
Yep, Beat. Okay. Got to keep that rock and roll theme.
I guess that's where Eddie comes from. Something with rock and roll, maybe.
Van Halen, maybe?
Oh, yeah. That would make sense.
I mean, they like Rush, so...
Yeah, good point. I just didn't enjoy Ringman stage, and I really didn't enjoy Ringman either, because his weakness doesn't really hurt him as much as you think it would. Like, it doesn't stun him. He just keep beating your ass.
Were you charging it up?
No. I didn't know you could.
Yeah, the Pharaoh shot. You absolutely want to charge that up.
I did later on, but not when I fought Ringman. I just hit him with the blast, and now that I'm watching a playthrough, wow, if you charge it up, he dies really fast.
Oh, yeah. That's why I was like, I don't know why you're having trouble. I guess I should have asked if you were doing that.
If you don't charge it up, he's a lot harder, because he'll go back and forth with you for a while.
Yeah, and of course, his weapon is the ring boomerang, so he throws it out, and then it comes back to him.
Mm-hmm. It's very annoying. Very annoying. It's somewhat useful, though, when you get it, though. At least it's not a useless weapon when you have it.
Yeah, because I used it on one of the other mini-bosses coming up.
Sorry, I wasn't allowed to. I play by my own rules. I didn't use a single power-up that wasn't on a boss fight. And you fight another weird boss, I'm assuming next. I'm assuming next you fought Dustman.
Mm-hmm.
Dustman is a strange... Like, where did the idea come from? Where was somebody sitting there going, you know what would be cool? Have Robot Master in our Mega Man series? A vacuum.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we've got 7 Robot Masters, and we gotta get this game finished. And the guy's just looking around the office. He's like, vacuum. We'll make a vacuum boss.
His stage is cool. Like you're in a junkyard. I like his stage. I died a few times, even though I just rewind, but because the little things would jump out of holes and kill me. Oh, I know we mentioned it earlier, but what does the balloon power-up even do?
So the balloon power-up is basically item 1 for Mega Man 2, where instead of creating a platform, it just creates a floating balloon that you use as a platform. So it's the same thing, they just give it a different look.
I mean, you don't really need it because you have Rush Coil, so...
Mm-hmm. But I definitely used it instead of Rush Coil quite a bit.
Okay, just saving the energy.
Yeah, then it's cooler. And it's the only game that it appears in, so I'm like, I should probably use this.
Yeah, because Rush Coil was in 3, too, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
yeah, I think
Rush Coil.
Rush Coil sticks around until 6.
Okay.
Because 6 does something different with Rush.
I know this probably was a complaint, too, when this game came out, because, this game is very much like Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3. It's kind of, pretty much the same thing. Same style of graphics that you've been getting, same type of gameplay. So I wonder if people were starting to get kind of like tired of the series at this point.
Yeah, because 5 and 6 came out really late in the NES life cycle, too.
Yeah, I know they
so by then,
were not
But then people are complaining about them, like you said. But then when they introduced 9 was going to look like this old style, everyone got real excited.
Nostalgic.
Yeah.
So, like, Dustman, in his stage, you end up going to, like, compactors, too, where I got crushed a couple times because you have to break garbage to get past these things, and it didn't go so well for me.
I had a super close call that I absolutely should have been crushed, but I slid it, like, it had to have been framed perfect. But it was like a whoo moment afterwards. Like, holy crap.
It's nice to see that they brought back the slide, because the slide was also in 3, but it's nice to have it again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the slide sticks around, I think, the rest of the franchise, the rest of the series.
Okay. I mean, the charge shot does, too, obviously, so...
Yeah. Till 9. I don't think 9 has either one of them.
Oh.
So I think Protoman is unlockable, and he's got both of those.
Okay.
Yeah, they really wanted to recapitalize on the love of Mega Man 2, I guess.
I heard 9 is really hard.
It is hard. It's my favorite, though.
So, Dustman, he looks like he has a vacuum on his head. He looks like he is a vacuum.
He is a vacuum.
And I mean, he sucks up garbage at you that you can then, he's trying to suck you in, too. You have to jump out, you have to, like, run the other way to get away from him.
He's got a cooler design than Brightman, though, for being a generic robot with a thing on his head.
Yeah, he's not one of the two dumb ones. I mean, he's dumb, but he ain't that dumb. He looks cooler than a guy with a light bulb on his head.
Oh, they kind of recycled that suck you in attack from Mega Man 3, because MegaMan did that, and you can't damage either one of them while they're doing it.
Okay. Except this one has little things like little, air bubbles showing where you suck it in the dust, which is cooler.
Mm-hmm.
I like Dustman. You use the ring boomerang to beat him, and I had fun with him. He was cool.
He's not bad. He shoots out the little blocks of dust, but if you jump just as they reach you and they explode, they completely miss you. Pretty handy.
Cool. Well, he wasn't bad. He was. Yeah. I was surprised. So,
yeah. For Robot Master based on a vacuum, he's not bad. And he gives you the Dust Crusher, which lets you shoot out garbage.
It's not a bad ability either.
Mm-mm.
And then I'm assuming
it's one of those ones that does damage on initial impact and then breaks into smaller pieces and does more damage, which is handy.
I only use it again on the one boss. And then I'm assuming the next guy you fight is your favorite one, right?
Yeah, we're going under the sea to fight Dive Man, the Submarine Robot Master.
This level is an asshole level.
Oh, it sucks. It's not even the fact that it's a water level like most bad games, or bad game levels or water levels. It's not even that. It's just the level itself is kind of a pain in the ass.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of spikes. There's a lot of instant kill stuff in this level. You have stupid fish that are knocking me off platforms, and the mini boss, because this game likes mini bosses. You fight a giant whale. It's not bad.
Its name is Moby.
That's kind of funny.
This is the one that I use the ring boomerang on because it hits him multiple times per attack.
Oh, because he's such a big sprite.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like normal Mega Man, when you're in water, you jump higher for some reason.
Yep, which is where those into kill spikes get you.
Yeah, it just wasn't a level that I really enjoyed playing.
No. And the Dive Man fight himself is a pain in the ass, too.
And this is also the level that has the other tool that you're mentioning.
Yeah. We actually... This is the wrong order. We skipped... Wait. Yeah, we skipped
the order that the video I'm watching went through. So
oh, weird.
Okay.
Yeah, I fought Skullman in between those two, but that's fine.
I mean, again, it doesn't... You can kind of do it whatever order you want. In this game.
It's just...
I don't think it...
Of course, every Robot Master is weak to someone else's weapon.
Yeah, and some are hard than others, but even you can do a lot with a Buster.
Yeah. But yeah, you're talking about the wire adapter, which is...
What is the wire adapter?
I think it's just a bionic commando shout-out. Basically, if you hold up while you have it, Mega Man gets a new sprite and looks upwards. And then when you hit the fire button, he shoots out a grappling hook and pulls you up to the ceiling. Huh. As long as it has something to attach to.
And I'm actually, now that I'm watching the video, I'm surprised I missed it because you just go down a hole with a bunch of spikes, and that's how you.
Oh yeah, because it just looks like, well, I don't jump down pits. That's instant death. Why would I jump down that pit?
That must have been why I just kept going and didn't find it.
But I used it quite a bit. I don't think I used Rush Coil again after getting those two items.
Okay, that's interesting how they pretty much make Rush Coil not needed.
Mm-hmm.
Or useless because you have other things to do as a job instead. So the Dive Man kind of reminded me a little bit of Launch Octopus because both of them have the same type of weapon, homing torpedoes. Like Dive Man's thing, but he turns to a sub and goes back and forth to hit you. He'll just run into you.
This is where Tornado has been. And making contact with him does twice as much damage as his missiles do.
Okay, I did the same thing then. I did beat Skullman first and I fought him because I used Skullman's weapon to beat him.
Yeah, So Skullman gives you a barrier. It's like the Leaf Shield, but worse. Because the Leaf Shield you could at least shoot out. Skull Barrier just hovers around you, and you have to get up real close to Dive Man. But like I just said, you take twice as much damage if you somehow hit him. Well, not
if
somehow.
He touches you and you don't have.
You're going to hit him.
You pretty much, yeah, and he moves very fast back and forth, so it's a little hard to use the ability on him. I mean, he's not terrible.
I died several times. I played this stage at least 3 times because, like I said, I wasn't using rewind or save states or anything. So the last time I'm like, well, I'm just going to use the Buster. I'll just shoot his missiles when he stops and then hit him. And I ended up beating him without taking damage.
You can also beat him with Dustman's weapon, by the way, too.
Oh, that probably would have been easier.
Yeah, because I'm watching it right now. They're hitting him with Dustman. It does a decent amount of damage. But mainly all he does, he shoots a missile at you and he goes back and forth like he's M. Bison around the level.
Oh, yeah. He's giving you the old Psycho Crusher.
Uh-huh. I liked him for some reason.
Oh, yeah, he's not bad.
None of the bosses really bothered me in this game, which is a nice change of pace compared to Mega Man 3.
Mm-hmm. 3 is rough. And there's no Yellow Devil, so that helps.
That is nice, too. Fuck the Yellow Devils. So after Dive Man, I'm assuming we're going to go to Skull Man then.
Yeah. Well, we'll backtrack to Skull Man.
I have always liked Skull Man's design. He's always been one of those bosses that stuck with me all these years or something for no reason, even though I never played this game.
The robot with the skull for a head. He's cool.
I only know him because he was in Mega Man Soccer. That's how I knew him, because I played Mega Man Soccer long before I played these games.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that game. People can crap out on all they like. It's just fine.
I'm going to crap on it too when we cover it someday, so I'm not the only one. But Skull Man, I mean, his ability isn't that great, like we were talking about earlier, where you just get the little shield thing, but damn does he look cool.
Yeah. And that ability is worse for him because when he uses it, he just stands still. Like, he doesn't even try and charge you with it or anything.
The whole point of it is just to protect him if you shoot something at him, so you just wait until he's done shooting.
Uh-huh. He's like, aha, you can't hurt me. I'm like, okay, we'll just wait this out then.
I think I had a figure of Skull Man when I was a kid, too. I can't remember, but he's definitely somebody I would have had a figure of.
Oh, yeah, he's just very cool.
And this game also did a decent job of giving you E-Tanks. Like, there's E-Tanks all over the place in this game, and I was kind of surprised how many there were, because when I got to the end of the game, because, well, I'm rewinding, I had like 6 or 7 of them, though. So I was kind of surprised.
Wasn't rewinding, I had about 10 throughout the course of the game.
You're also, okay. Maybe.
Well, like you said, it keeps giving them to you. I think most of the time when I found Eddie, he gave me an E-Tank.
Oh, he never gave me an E-Tank. I didn't know he even could.
I guess we didn't really talk about it. He just kind of gives you power-ups. Like, he'll give you life. Or typically, it's something you don't need, like weapon energy, especially for you since you don't use them. But yeah, every so often, he'll give you an extra life or an E-Tank or something.
That's cool. Extra life he did give me, too, and he gave me this health or stuff like that. But, I didn't know he'd give you E-Tanks, too. Because that's a very useful item, E-Tanks, in this game.
Yep.
I mean, again, it probably maybe was criticism that people had a hard time with 3, because 3 is kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
So that was maybe one of the criticisms that came through out of this, so then we get more stuff. I'm assuming. And that brings us to, I'm assuming, Drill Man, then?
The best designed Robot Master in this game. I love Drill Man's design. And apparently someone at Capcom did, too, because they brought him back in Gotcha Force. One of those Gotcha Borgs looks just like a souped-up Drill Man.
Somewhere out there, Jeff Corksmile doesn't know. Oh, we did an episode on Gotcha Force, 107 or so. Go check that out.
Somewhere up there.
Drill Man is really cool. I actually had a toy of Drill Man when I was a kid. And his drills would shoot out, so wherever he is, he has no drills, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, ever since I was a kid, I always liked even just his sprite. I really liked it. I mean, he's just a robot with a drill for a head and drill for hands.
Yeah, and he goes underground in the level and jumps out and kicks your ass.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot of damage if you get caught by him popping out of the level. A lot of damage. He's definitely probably my favorite or tied with my favorite in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Pharaoh Man, Skull Man, and him are all really cool. So almost half of them.
They're pretty awesome.
And then I think once you get, like we mentioned before, you get Rush Jet, Rush Marine, and then after you beat, when you beat the 8 bosses, like every other Mega Man game, you end up going to, you don't go to the Wily stage, you go to the Dr. Cossack stages.
Yeah.
Cossack, how to pronounce it.
Because, the Wily isn't the boss in this game. They switched it up for a change.
I still like how it's all like you're fighting a Russian guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of, let's see, what year is this? 80, 90, 91? 90,
yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it fits.
Yeah.
I mean, Cold War would have been over by now, but it still fits. When did the Berlin Wall fall? I don't know why I'm asking you.
Wasn't it?
89.
There you go.
So yeah, this is right at the end of the Cold War, so that makes perfect sense.
And development around then.
I actually got a kick out of these stages. Normally, I don't like the stages that are after. Like, I did not like the Protoman stage, whatever the hell they're called in 3.
Oh, Breakman, yeah.
I just did not enjoy those stages. And I was like, oh, great. Dr. Caustic stages are going to be, a bitch, too. And they weren't that bad. Like, the first one, you're running around in snow, which is annoying, and he moves slower, but it wasn't bad. Like, I had no problem with the levels or just fun. And it was nice. It was a nice change. It wasn't too difficult.
Yeah. You just do a little hoppy to get through the snow a little quicker, and it's not bad.
Yeah, nothing felt overly as difficult as, like, 3, even with Rewind. I remember having a really hard time with 3.
Yeah, 3 was rough. Those Breakman stages were not fun. Like I said before, you're fighting the Robot Masters from 2, kind of, and they're all pains in the ass.
And it didn't do it in this game, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there's no Sniper Joes in this game. You have Skeleton Joe instead, which are these robots that look like a Sniper Joe, but undead version of him that throw bones at you.
Yeah, and they go down like chumps too, so they're not even an issue.
The enemies die really fast in this game too.
Mm-hmm. We got the charge shot now.
Well, even without the charge shot, things go down very quickly, which was a nice change.
Yeah.
It's nice that I didn't have to shoot everything a lot. I could just kind of get through it quickly.
It's like 3 had more combat in it, and this one feels like it's more platforming than combat.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But it's also more fun.
True.
I like easier Mega Man games too, so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to love when we play Mega Man and Bass someday, or Base.
Oh, man. That game is hard.
I know. I want to play it, though. Someday. So, I mean, as you go through the Dr. Caustic levels, you do have a couple different bosses because, of course, Mega Man, that you have to fight. And the first one is probably a joke. What is it called? Like Mothraea?
The first boss is called Mothraea.
And it's a giant moth robot.
Yep. And it is absolutely a nod to Mothra from the Godzilla movies.
It's not that. I'm assuming that it can break the floor and make holes if you take too long, because it drops down a big claw that just breaks part of the floor.
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't stick around to find out. I just killed it quickly, but I'm assuming it can.
Yeah, he goes down like a chump if he is using the weapons he's weak to.
Yeah. The second level boss is a little weird, though.
Yeah, this is an odd one. I remember this boss. I didn't remember it was from this game, but it's this room called the Square Machine that breaks into 3 parts and kind of flies in from the side of the screen and can push you into the side and take damage. You have to basically jump inside it before it locks up together, and then you shoot the red light inside of it.
It's really weird.
Yeah, if that description didn't clue you in, and it's very strange.
It was definitely one of the strangest Mega Man fight that I've done in a while.
Yeah, it's up there.
And I was just really confused. I'm like, what? I have to dodge these blocks or slide underneath this, and then I just jump in it and shoot him and dodge a blast. I'm like, what the hell am I doing?
Square Machine. Even they didn't know what they were doing.
I feel like every Mega Man game, when it comes to the Wily levels, has some weird boss fight for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense. Fair.
Like Mega Man X had the one where you fight the wall and you shoot the 3 different color eyeballs that come out of it.
Yeah, one doesn't make a lot of sense either. So I'm not surprised. And then in the next Cossack stage, you end up. This is when you fight another boss that I like this level because it felt like it's an auto scroller at parts, but it felt like you're in a giant airship type of thing for some reason. That's what it reminded me of. That I'm up in the sky.
Yeah.
And I thought this was a cool level. I don't like that in game, but when I had Rewind, it wasn't a big deal. You have blocks that act like a spring that you jump on them and they lower, but then they jump up when you get off and they give you a boost, depending on how long you sit on them. And I thought that was a really cool, to me, concept.
Yeah, because 3 had blocks that you jump on and then just fall.
And that's what I thought these would do. Like when I first jumped them, I was expecting to jump on, jump off really quick, but then they just they fall slowly, and then when you jump up, they go up with you. Oh, it was really cool.
It's a nice wrinkle to the platforming.
Yeah, and then this boss sucked though.
This boss. So this boss is just this round thing with 2 legs. And they kind of walk on the ceiling and the walls and whatnot, and they're called the Cockroach Twins. Look nothing like any kind of bug at all.
You talking about you don't have metal bugs where you live?
No, I'd probably like those better. not a fan of bugs.
It's a weird fight because they just climb in the wall and the ceiling. And you just shoot them. That's all you did, just shoot them.
This is where that Pharaoh shot charge is really handy because you can charge it up and hit them when they're on the ceiling, and then fire it at the 45-degree angles as they run away from you. So you get 2 hits with one shot.
Not bad. And they only give you only fight one at a time. There's 2 of them. You beat one, and one pops out the other door.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah, because you think they'd have 2 of them because they'd be stronger together.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of abilities, we did forget to mention Drill Man's ability where you just shoot drills that look really cool.
Oh, yeah, that explode, and it's the requisite MegaMan weapon that can destroy the weird barrier walls.
I'm surprised that you can get Drill Man's ability whenever you want, because in Mega Man Legends, you had to wait to the very end of the game to get Drill Man's ability to open up doors. That's fun.
And that doesn't even explode.
I never used it. I had it, but I never used it.
I never even got it. Go back and listen to that episode. We just recorded it recently.
And yeah, it's been really, it's been longer than recently by the time that you're hearing this. Right. Drill Man is cool.
Oh yeah.
And I enjoy. I mean, I know it's a Mega Man thing, but this would have, the whole it's not Dr. Wily, it's somebody else.
Yeah, you got to fight Dr. Cossack and his popcorn popper with the claw on the bottom of it.
I like the design of this fight, and I like how it was cool to me. I felt. I don't know why, but he reminded me like a claw toy. Like he's just like the claw game. Mm-hmm. He's just trying to grab you.
100%. Yep.
And
it's so stupid though. Like Mega Man can fall multiple stories and not take damage, but if Dr. Cossack picks you up in that thing and just drops you, you take a whole bunch of damage for falling.
I got grabbed a couple times, but then I just rewinded, so I didn't see. But I mean, he does shoot things at you, but yeah, he wasn't hard at all.
Yeah, that's not bad. You slide under him, hit him with the Dust Crusher.
Yeah, it was a fun fight. And I got grabbed because I was being dumb, and I knew that. So, and then Breakman, is he called Protoman yet?
Oh yeah, he's been Protoman. It's like the Dr. Wily version was.
Oh, okay. Breakman. So Protoman shows up and then he returns the daughter, Dr. Cossack's daughter. And this is when you find out that Wily had took her captive, and that's why she was fighting you, and that's why he was fighting you.
Yeah,
because Wily could build robots.
Kalinka kind of became a fan-to-favorite character, even though that she's in this one scene in this one game, as far as I know.
How the hell is it? Because because I don't remember what the gimmick in 5 is. Who you're fighting? 5
is the Darkman robots.
Okay. We'll get there next time.
Yeah.
And then you get to do the Dr. Wily stages.
Yeah, because, surprise, Dr. Wily's the bad guy.
And he shows up. You betrayed me, Protoman!
Again!
You betrayed him in 3. He's not your friend.
I think he saves him in 3, because that's why you think he gets crushed.
Oh, and that's why, okay, he didn't.
But Protoman shows up at the last second and saves him. Whatever.
Doesn't matter. No, you're not playing this for the story. You're playing this because it's just fun. And
playing this because the next boss is named Metal Daddy.
And the whole level, you fight tons and tons of the metals, which are the little guys with little construction helmets with a little plus sign on them that shoot at you and hide in their helmet.
They're in every Mega Man game.
Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. Whoever's listening to this episode, if you played a Mega Man game, you know what they are. Maybe you didn't know their name. They're called Mets, but the little bastards that hide in their gold helmet.
I think they have multiple names. They're like Mets and Metals and Metals and.
They're also an X too in one level in Mega Man X. Yeah, like every Mega Man game, they're somewhere.
Metors.
Well, I like the fact that in this game they're underwater. Sometimes they have little snorkels.
Yeah, and they spin around and shoot at you, and they take more hits.
Yeah, I like them. The boss fight was weird, and I did not know his name was Metal Daddy until this episode.
Until we looked it up. It's just a big one of those.
He's a little bit annoying to fight, though.
Yeah.
But it's cool how, when you fight him, he'll jump on the ground and drop down more medals.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's the daddy.
That's still weird.
Yes, it is. I didn't mind fighting him. I thought it was kind of... Because I had seen him before from, screenshots, something. I knew he existed. I didn't know where he was or what game, but I knew he existed.
5 has a variation on this boss, too.
Which one does?
5.
Okay. I know nothing about 5.
We'll have to not wait so long between recording the next one, like we did this one.
Yeah, we did wait a while. And then the next boss that you fight, I think he's called a toy machine or something.
His name, according to the wiki, is Tako. So I guess Taco Trash.
He looks like some kind of toy in a way, because he's this guy on the top on a platform above you that shoots out fireballs and shoots balls from his big head that looks like a vacuum type thing.
So he's Mr. Bucket.
Yeah, he does kind of look like Mr. Bucket. And then you just jump and hit him in his weak spot that's glowing because, video game.
He's he's like a souped up version. There's an enemy that you fight. I can't remember which level it is. It's called apparently according to the wiki, it's called Gachapon. Or they're the red guys that have the balls in the back of them that can shoot the balls up at you, and they can also shoot stuff out through the front of them.
Okay.
Let me pull it up in the wiki and show
I got nothing. And I mean, also the Wily stages aren't super long, because after this, you go to the refights. And the refights, I normally, as I've said before in Mega Man, I don't like the refights normally. But I didn't have a problem with them in this game.
It helps that the boss battles are a little on the easier side, so it's not a gauntlet like normal.
Yeah, it wasn't, and they give you health packs after each boss fight. I mean, not completely for your health, but they give you at least something every boss fight.
Yeah, which I think is a first for the series, because I feel like 3 wasn't nice enough to do that.
No, 3 was not, I'm pretty sure. And I had all these energy tanks. I actually used an energy tank or two, because Ringman kicked my ass again. Because Ringman is a bitch when you don't charge up Pharaoh Shot. He also takes almost the entire Pharaoh Shot ability if you don't charge it.
Oh, I believe it.
I found out the hard way. So I had no Pharaoh Shot when I went into the final area. Had to recharge it. But I was like, I enjoyed refights, and that's anyone listening to me talk about Mega Man games. I don't like refights. I think it's stupid. And this one, I was like, okay, it's fun. I had no problem refighting everybody.
The old boss rush.
Every Mega Man game has it, though.
Oh, it's not just Mega Man. There's so many games. I think even Castlevania kind of got in on it for a while.
I think you're right, too.
Back when they made Castlevania games that weren't on mobile, that got shut down almost immediately.
Yeah, there was a Castlevania mobile game, wasn't there?
Uh-huh.
So, and then you fight Wily Machine number 4, because, you keep beating him, he keeps making new Wily Machines. The first form wasn't bad, it's just a hovercraft thing that shoots big purple globs of energy at you, and you just got to shoot the face with a charge shot. That wasn't too bad.
And if you stand directly in front of it, it won't hit you at all.
Yeah, I'm watching that right now, that's what I see what you mean.
Because if I stand there. He shoots out blasts at 3-round bursts, and you just wait for that third to come by, jump up and shoot him, and then wait for the next opening.
That is really easy. That's not as easy as I did it, but wow. I had a hard time with his second form, because I couldn't figure out how to hurt it at first.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty much the same thing, except you have a glowing blue orb you have to hit. You can only hit it at certain times, I think, or... I felt like my shots were always bouncing off for a while.
The second form?
Yeah, a Wily Machine.
Like it was just really particular about where you hit it. Because you're supposed to hit that glowing light, but it's like if you're a couple pixels off, it would just ting for no damage.
It took me a long time to do it, because I thought I was doing something wrong. I had to look up a video to see what to do before I finally got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just particular about where you're hitting it.
And that brings you to, and then, because like any Mega Man game, you have the map and you see the skull, and this is where you fight the Wily Machine, and then like many Mega Man games, after you beat that level, there ends up being, surprise, there's another level. This
level wasn't shit, though. I think it might have had a couple of those worm enemies.
All it has is these green worms. There's like 6 of them that spawn, and they only serve one purpose, is to refill your energy.
Mm-hmm.
I did this for 20 minutes last night.
Oh, jeez.
I couldn't get energy to refill Pharaoh Shot at all. All I would get is health pickups and extra lives, and I don't need either. I need to fill up Pharaoh Shot. It took me a long time. Because I think you need Pharaoh Shot to beat the final boss.
That I'm not sure of.
Because I don't think the Buster hit him. So the final boss is you fight Wily in his little space shuttle craft, his little spaceship, and the room is black, and all of a sudden he'll shoot a light attack, and he'll appear shortly after that, and you have to hit his little shuttle wherever it is, randomly spawning around the room that you can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
Rewind's wonderful, because I would just use rewind, like, oh, that's where he's going to be, okay. Then I could hit him. But in my experience, the Buster did absolutely nothing. Only the Pharaoh Shot and Ring Shot, I think, hurt him, because Mega Man likes to do it where the final Wily fight's only hurt by one attack.
The bubble lid. Oh,
yeah, and 2, right?
Mm-hmm. So go in without that weapon energy, you're just screwed.
Which I don't like. I want to be able, maybe the Buster does work, and I just couldn't get it to work in this playthrough. I don't think that's the case.
It's entirely possible. It was just weak to the Pharaoh Shot.
Yeah, they do that. And then Wily goes through a trapdoor, and he escapes as his whole place blows up. And
this Wily capsule wasn't bad. There is definitely worse. Wait until Mega Man 7. It's one of the most infamous Wily capsules, or like one of the most infamous Mega Man bosses. Like it's probably up there with Yellow Devil. It's rough.
It's one of the most infamous Mega Man games is 7.
Oh yeah, but that boss in particular.
Okay. And then the game ends with Mega Man on a train as the credits play. On the outside of a train, standing there with no helmet in Russia. It looks like Russia.
It's possible.
So, and that's Mega Man 4.
Oh, you got to talk about the Wily's castle exploding.
Oh, yeah, like a nuclear bomb.
Yeah, but it's in the shape of a skull.
Oh, yeah.
I love that shot.
That is cool. I should know. I took a picture of that when I beat the game, but I completely forgot. It is good. Yeah, it's cool. This is a good Mega Man game. Yeah. All right, since this is a mini, we don't have any questions. Should we go on to Shelf Stacker Box?
Sure.
And why don't you go first, Mike?
I don't know. Like, it's fine. I would probably put it somewhere in the, well, I guess the stack. We have that gray. I was going to say it's somewhere in the gray area because it's not one of the great Mega Man games that I'll go back to time and time again, but it's not one of those ones like 3 ended up being where like I just don't want to touch this game anymore. So it's fine. I like the balloon and wire adapters. I kind of wish they brought them back. But beyond that, introducing the Charge Buster and all that crap, it's just not enough to keep me coming back to it time and time again.
Okay. And I'll go next. This is actually going on the shelf for me. I had a great time playing this game. I really, really enjoyed it. This is, if I was to rank them, it'd go 2 than this game. Like, this is a really good Mega Man game. I mean, I haven't played 5 and 6 yet, so we'll have to hold off for that. But I had a great time. I enjoyed myself. I beat this game in 1 day with Rewind, 2 sittings. But no, I enjoyed playing. I was like, I got to go finish Mega Man. So Mega Man 4 is going on the shelf. I'm just going to recommend to people to try it out. They should.
Definitely easier. Like I said, I didn't use Rewind or save states or anything, and I was able to get through it legit. So can't say the same about 3 anymore. I lost my touch.
3's hard, though.
It was hard.
And someone had even said after I beat this game and posted about it, like, yeah, 4 is easier than 3. And they were 100% right. And that's why I love it. Because I like EC game. I love Rewind.
Rewind's so great for these classic games.
And yes, we do know that we love Capcom. In case you're looking at someone looks at our list like, man, they cover a lot of Capcom games. Yes.
Yep, we sure do. And they make like the best mini episodes, so
yeah.
Mega Man beat 'em ups and
I would say what we're doing next time, but I don't know when you're hearing this, and I don't know what we're doing next time, so I can't tell you.
We've got plenty of ideas, and a lot of them are Capcom, though, so...
Mm-hmm. So, as I should say at the end of every episode that, coincides with something else, if you enjoyed this episode, we have other episodes you check out. In this case, we have other Mega Man episodes for you to check out. And I am pulling that up real quick. I'm like...
Yeah, I think this is the 5th one we've done since I started.
Yeah, we didn't do many before you, though. Before you joined, we only did, I think, 1.
Yeah, I think you just did 1 and 2 together. Yeah. Which was an early one, I think.
So if you want more Mega Man, we have Mega Man 1 and 2, which is episode 25. We did Mega Man X, episode 85. Mega Man Let the Games Begin comic, 18. And then we have also done...
Did X2.
We did X2, episode 99. We did Mega Man Powered Up, mini number 6. Mega Man 3, mini number 10. And Mega Man Legends, episode 117. That's all that's been published at the time that you're hearing this.
The X games.
We only done X1. Yeah, I said X1 and 2.
Yep. Yeah, but when I was counting them up in my head, I had forgotten about them.
Oh. Yeah, we like our Mega Man.
Great.
Yeah, definitely go check out those episodes. And if you enjoy this, go through our giant catalog. We cover movies, we cover comics, we do games mostly. We are going to the MCU. Hopefully maybe we're done. Who knows? Check those out. Man. We shouldn't be done by the time you hear this. We better not be done. I better not waited that long to publish this. So check those out. And if you enjoy, and give a shout out to our awesome intro and outro, courtesy of Bobby, a.k.a. Mike Sony from ZP Bite the Bullet. Song is the Cool Kid Squad. You will see a link in the show notes to his YouTube channel. And also, if you want to help support us, we are on Patreon finally. So please go on Patreon, throw us a buck. We don't have anything happening yet at the time you're hearing this, so maybe that's changed by now. Who knows? But definitely go support us on Patreon. And if you enjoyed this, please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. We're finally on YouTube. Been on YouTube now for a while, but go check us out on there. I think that's all we got, and we will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.